that was just put out there for discussion. It had been discussed before, and there was no tuition proposal on the agenda for the November meeting. I just want you to know that.
Did you know that over the past decade, tuition has increased 300%? Did you know that?
Well, do you know how much state funding has decreased in the past decade? 50%.
Yeah.
And how much UDOF's salary has gone up?
How much is UDOF's salary?
Yeah.
Okay, his salary has not gone up since he was brought on.
But what is it?
His salary is $600,000 a year.
For doing what? Letting his students get prosecuted in Irvine?
So question. So the state has cut back, and so your solution
So the
is
state,
to the state has stopped giving funding to the UCs.
Yeah, state,
So
it's still giving funding, but it's
But
giving
not
at the
as
same
much.
level it was in the late 1990s when there were 75,000 fewer students.
So your
our
solution is to cut the budget and increase our tuition rather than cutting the $600,000 that the UC Regents make every year.
No, the regents are unpaid volunteers. So the regents get.
Let's clarify that they are all CEO executives who make multi-millions of dollars and they donate to the governor. And the governor
democracy
puts them in
in
a position, right?
So the regents
Wall Street.
the regents are unpaid. The regents are
According to the
unpaid. They're unpaid
Constitution,
volunteers.
you're not allowed to pay.
Appointed.
According to the Constitution, since this school is run by the government, you're not allowed to charge tuition. So you call them education fees. It's really reached a point where you're using the UCs to make money, and that's not
when
right.
When you say to make money, we've got the quality of education.
It's gone down.
It's gone down.
It has ridiculously gone
Okay.
down. Every biotech company in the area will not hire a UCSD student because the amount of education that they've received is disappointing and dismal since the classes are too big, there are too few professors, there are too few classes, and everything has just
Our departments are getting...
was free.
Of the top rated universities in the world, 6 of UC campuses
and
are
it's
in the top 50.
gone down.
Who can afford
So
it?
it's there was a ranking of the Washington Monthly of universities.
Well, I'm a
that-
student and I'm
that
telling
actually are doing something for the public good, and the top 3 schools are UC schools.
So you
But
take
which
away
public? You're bringing in students from other states and other countries because they pay more. What about the students here that need access to that education?
Exactly.
So there's no.
So many students can't afford to go here.
There's no,
What about
there's no
undocumented
cutback.
students?
Undocumented students, the university and President UDOF have been 100% supportive
Wasn't
of
the
the
student at
California,
UCLA going to get
of the
deported?
California Dream Act. So we're 100% behind California Dream Act. We have lobbied for it. We have supported the legislation, urged the governor to sign that legislation. So, all I'm saying is not all I'm saying, but
regardless.
access is a top priority for the university. If you look at the demographics of the students, half are first in their family to attend college.
You mean the 1.4% black students at this university and the 0.0% Native American students?
It's not about the Dream
Even
Act.
though we have the largest amount of Native Americans in San Diego County. Why is that?
Why are students of color underrepresented on this campus?
I can't speak for this campus. I can speak for the system as a whole.
And the
which
system.
I know better. 25% of the incoming freshmen are Latinos in a state where the Latino population is, the population of Latino high school graduates is rapidly increasing. President UDOF was at Roosevelt High School just 2 weeks ago, urging the students there that to look to UC for their college
I'm sure
education.
those students want to go, they just can't afford it.
I actually want to speak on that because I come from that neighborhood, and I think his little publicity stunt by visiting that high school, Roosevelt, which I grew up like a 5-minute drive away from, is totally part of my language full of shit.
Yeah. Well,
I'll say
Wait,
it
let him finish.
because I grew up in these areas, and I know what families in these areas have to go through. And regardless of there's financial aid, there's a reality is that we're in a fiscal crisis where there's not even jobs provided. So when we graduate, we're not even insured a job. And this serves as a way to demotivate these kids to want to go to school. So when he goes over there, he's saying, we're trying our hardest to fight for the access, the affordability, and the quality of this education system. I think he's telling full of shit. And I think it's a publicity stunt, and I think you should share that with him. Share that from me to him, because I grew up in these communities. For him to go there and try to act like he speaks on their behalf, no, sir, you don't. Go live in that neighborhood. Go grow up with these people. Then speak on their behalf.
Hey, I grew up in the same kind of neighborhood in Tucson, Arizona, with grandparents in Sonora, Mexico. So, you know, I've talked with people in that school district. You know, I know that he's gone to other high schools across the state. You're entitled to your opinion, but my own belief is that it's his top priority to be reaching out to high school kids in the state, particularly Latinos, because of, I mean, we're the future for higher education. He's absolutely committed to it. You're entitled to your opinion. I am to mine. I tell you, I come from the same roots in a different state as you do, and you know, I'm not saying University of California is perfect. It's far from it. We're facing challenges, some of which are out of our control, that have to do with a national trend of states disinvesting in higher education. Every tuition increase, 1/3 of the increase is going to financial aid so that we can maintain access for lower income students. And you know, we're doing our best with what we've got and
just
what's
because
within our control.
the UC system is facing challenges that's out of control, why are you imposing on us challenges that are out of our control now? That doesn't seem like a very If you're representing our interests, can you explain to me why in December 2010, 36 of the top administrators sent a letter to UC President Mark Yudof demanding an increase in their retirement pensions? All of them already make over $245,000 a year. They demanded that the cap on their pensions be lifted from $187,000 each year after retirement to over $300,000 each year. They also demand that these increases be made retroactive to 2007. If they get their way, this will cost the UCs over $5.5 million a year. It's clear that the priorities are misplaced and out of touch. If they have our interests, why are they increasing fees? Why are they in support of cutting?
What I can tell you is this. Those 36 were told by President Yudof and the chairman of the Board of Regents in no uncertain terms that they were prepared to go to court if necessary to fight that. And I don't think you've heard another word from those 36 since then.
But the fact that they're representing us is the problem. That's the fact that they're not having our interests at heart. The fact that they wrote that letter demanding all of this money when people are suffering, when people are in debt slavery, when cuts are ridiculous, massive cuts, you know? That's what the problem is. So we're here to tell Mark Yudof, who did propose that this new budget deal be talked about. We want him to be fired, frankly, because we don't think that he has our best interest at heart. We believe that even the fact that he proposed that budget deal is the problem. That's the problem.
The fact that having a group of regents instead of student representatives, actually having democratic control of our university.
Well, part of the problem, there was nothing proposed at that meeting. All it was a framework that was put up for discussion.
Right, this framework, that's what I'm talking about. Pardon my language, this framework or proposal that is up for discussion.
Let me explain what the framework is about. The framework is about being able to show to the state what the consequences are when the state continues to decrease funding of higher education.
Sir, can I just ask something? Because you keep saying, well, we're on the same side. I think that we're actually not on the same side. The fact that the regents have their own interests, and the fact that they are CEOs, I think it's quite convenient to sit here, to stand here, and I know you have to represent, whoever you're trying to, the interests of the regents as well, but I think we see through. There are cuts on behalf of the state, but then that's only 8% of the budget, of the entire UC budget. And there is a lack of transparency as to where the money that is coming in. We know that part of the money is going to research facilities. We know that part of the money is going to construction. Interestingly, especially in regards to construction, there are a couple of people sitting on the board that have very close ties
on our public land.
Exactly. So I think that no one's here discussing here whether you're on our side or not. I think it's quite convenient because the UC regents can keep, saying, don't cut our money, distribute it in a way that we don't even understand, because there's a certain part of that budget that we understand it's not even part of